Welcome everybody to another episode of the Kick and Make Up Show. I'm your host, the American Hybrid, Nick Cunningham. With me, as always, Jeremy J.D. Dorsey.
Yo.
Couple days after Christmas, so season's beatings to everybody, to all of our fans. Happy late Christmas. Happy Christmas. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And I totally stole season's beatings from everywhere. Who knows? Everybody can be mad at me because that's nobody's. But yeah, we wanted to get a quick show in before the huge year-end spectacular show coming up, UFC 168 tomorrow night. Man, we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. But are you ready for tomorrow?
I am, man. It's one of those shows that we've been waiting for a few months now, and it's finally here. It's gonna be a good card, crazy good card. Just excited. Can we talk real quick about what was it, UFC on Fox 9?
I think that was 9. Yeah, because we're going to 10. So.
Yes. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
9.
9. I just wanted to say real quick that was a great card too. Big props to Faber and Demetrius Johnson for coming out and winning in spectacular fashion. Just something that we were there for our Kick and Make Up year-end award show.
That's
so
right.
We had a packed house. Thanks to everybody for coming out to that. But had a packed house, and just to watch those fights, and especially the Johnson fight. And we've talked on the show about it, and I talked with Nick, personally, and just said like, man, I really like to see Johnson get a finish in one of these fights, like for real, do something that's going to be spectacular. Because his last few fights, he's won by decision, and it hasn't been crazy spectacular fashion. And oh my God, like to take an opponent who is crazy dangerous and do him like that and knock him silly, it was really good to see. And man, I won't say good to see. I was happy to see that finish.
Right.
And after, there's something that so many people have been wanting to see, and he was able to deliver. Same thing for Faber. And, people kind of start to believe that Faber is on the downswing a little bit, but he definitely didn't look like that in this fight.
No, my picks were, obviously, I think I went 2 for 4 in the main card. I had Benavidez. Yeah. You get 100%.
4.
Nice. I had Benavidez winning that. I just thought that, with the addition of Bang Ludwig and how Team Alpha Male's been rising, I just felt like he was going to put it on Johnson. And I was just surprised and shocked to see that the fight ended so quickly like that. Uriah Faber looked like a maniac in his fight. I had Michael McDonald, which I know a majority of people had him picked as well. And then Uriah comes out and just completely dominates the fight, and then just swarms on him like a lion to a wounded gazelle at the end of that fight. And I haven't seen Uriah Faber that violent and aggressive in so long. So that was awesome to see. I'm a big fan of both those guys. So now, he's going to be fighting, I think the winner of Cruz and Barao. He's fought both of them already. So, that's going to be interesting to see. He's always one of those guys that once he gets to those title fights, he comes short, but does awesome before that. So curious to see about that. It was just a good night of fights. Chad Money Mendez got his win too with the flu apparently or something. He just looked drained and tired, said he had the flu or something like that later, but still looked awesome as he usually does. So it was a good night of fights. Awesome night at Roosters. So thank you again to everybody there for letting us host the Kick and Make Up year-end awards show. Mark Tongvan, we still got to get the award to you. So coming soon. Don't worry, we didn't forget about you. But thank you to everybody that came out that night. Everybody that got the awards and show support. Awesome for first time.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome turnout. Good food, lively crowd. Just
Marcus Brems. Thank you to Marcus Brems coming out, doing a little set.
DJ Caterpillar killed it. Man, it was good night. Good night.
So we will definitely be doing that again in the summer.
Yeah.
Doing a little bash, outside bash. So be looking out for that. Obviously, we're gonna keep you guys up to date. But
K-Bash 1.
K-Bash 1.
Yes.
I like it.
Or should we do K-Bash 14?
We're just skipping to 14?
No, because it's 2014.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what? We're just gonna start with 14? Okay, That's cool. But I get it.
Like one.
I'm still not in that mode yet. Like I'm not ready yet.
I kind of like one because it kind of has like the whole UFC kind of feel
one.
to it. KFC.
Yeah, most people start with one.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
that. So let's get the particulars out of the way so we can talk about this awesome card tomorrow night. This is the Kick and Makeup show. Please go to www.kickandmakeup for all of the past shows that we've done, interviews, fighter interviews, professional, local, anything that pictures, everything is on there. And so if you like this show today and this is the first time, welcome. Visit that. Check out the stuff you've missed. Go to our Facebook group page where you just type in Kick and Makeup, invite yourself into the group. You know, I think within hours or less than an hour, you're in. We see that you want to get in. You're in. We let you in, and then we put up polls for like tomorrow night. Who do you think is gonna win? We put up just questions, updates, everything. We try to keep you guys as much up to date as we can with all the changing stuff in MMA. So that's our Facebook group page. If you're on Twitter, it's at Hybrid MMA is mine. At Kick and Makeup is Jeremy's. Mm-hmm. So we try to keep that a little loose and fun on that one.
Definitely.
Yep. And definitely. So that's the avenues. I think that's it to get to us. So check that out. And with that, we're gonna get right into the show. We usually do the show in 3 rounds: the high kick, the low kick, and that's some bull kick. Today we're just gonna go strictly UFC 168 preview. So many good fights on this card that I just want to dive into it. Mm-hmm. I was doing the notes and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about this. Mm-hmm. So kicking off, we're gonna kick off the main card. Then we're gonna get to let you know who's on the Fox Sports 1 prelims and then the online. So kicking off the main card of UFC 168 tomorrow night is a featherweight fight between Dustin Poirier and Diego Brandao. Diego Brandao was the TUF 14 winner. Poirier is just coming off a win over Eric Koch in August that we saw. And looking at both of them too, Diego Brandao is on a 3-fight win streak. Poirier, on the other hand, is very inconsistent. Mm-hmm. I just had that bold, very inconsistent. He's in his last 5 fights, he's one loss. So that's very hard to pick. When you're when you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. I'm a huge Dustin Poirier fan, but Diego Brandao is a beast. I don't know if you remember that show, TUF 14.
Yep.
Didn't he sprint out of one of the rounds and just run straight at his opponent?
And destroyed him, yes.
Right. So, I mean, what do you think for this fight? I know you're a Poirier fan as well.
I'm a definite Poirier fan. It just depends on which one we get. And, seeing his last fight, I think he did well, but he wasn't like overwhelmingly good in that fight. So I don't know. I think if I had to put my money down somewhere, I'd probably go with Brandao because he's a little bit more consistent. But if Poirier shows up and is the Poirier that we all love, he will win the fight. So it's hard to play that guessing game, but yeah, I probably have to go with Brandao if I were picking things.
I know, and this was a card too that I think this time I'm going to go with my pick off of stats. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go off of emotion.
Off a gut.
I'm just going to go. I'm going to try this for once because like I said, I'm a huge Dustin Poirier fan, but Diego Brandao, even with his 3-fight win streak, his style, I think being on the year-end card, he's going to have a little extra I think everybody's going to have that. But if you're already that type of finishing fighter, you're just going to have that little extra stamp. So I am going to go with Diego Brandao with this one too. As Dustin Poirier is ranked number 6, this will definitely, I think, get Brandao. If he wins here, it puts him like 10 or 9. So gets him ranked. So him knowing that too, like knocking off a number 6 person in your division, it will get you in the top 10. So I think that extra bit's gonna give him the win.
Right.
Next fight up is one we got a chance to see Jim Miller at one of the shows. It's Jim Miller versus Fabricio Camoes, and I'm not very familiar with Fabricio Camoes, just to be honest with you guys. Saw a little bit of fights of his online, looked him up, researched a little bit. He fought at UFC 148 in July, lost to Melvin Guillard. He's 1-3 in his past 4 fights. Miller, on the other hand, is 2-2 in his last 5 fights. He fought Pat Healy and came up the fight, he actually lost that against Pat Healy, which everybody was going crazy over because Miller was obviously the favorite to win that. But then Healy came up with high levels of testosterone, and so that fight was ruled a no contest. Number 10 ranked lightweight Jim Miller. So this fight also would put this Fabricio Camoes, I feel like, maybe give him the number 10 spot if he beat Jim Miller. I'm a huge Miller fan, so I'm going to go with Miller on this one.
Good dude, too. Good dude.
Yeah. And I think that just his style, I mean, most of his fights end in a bloody bath. Like, he just isn't afraid to fight. He isn't afraid to go at it. Stand-up's good. On the ground, I feel like he's even better. Like I said, it's one of those, you know one fighter, you don't know the other, so I'm trying not to do that. But what do you think about that?
And I think I would have to give the edge to Miller, too. And like you said, more familiar with him and his style. But I think that in his fights, he's showing that he's growing with his ground game, too. And, you know, he's not afraid to mix it up, and also is getting better and better on the ground. So you have to look at a fighter like that and say, man, you know, he's working on being that all-around type of guy that a lot of the greats are. So, I'd have to go with Miller in that one.
Wow, man,
it's weird so far.
Right, we're just agreeing so much.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Very excited to see this. I love how they put this heavyweight fight in the middle of all the lower weight class fights. Josh Barnett versus Travis Browne. Josh Barnett is ranked number 6. Travis Browne ranked number 5. Travis Browne is 4-1 his last 5 fights. He's coming off a huge knockout win over Alistar Overeem in this past August. Barnett is also on a 2-fight win streak. And that one was in Strikeforce, one was his debut in the UFC, which we saw. He's coming off, and both of those were first-round finishes, submission in Strikeforce, and then the knockout of Frank Mir.
Slightly controversial.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
He was winning that fight decisively. So this is the one where they're saying, like, if this Josh Barnett train is real, that he should be able to go through Travis Browne, because Travis Browne is the future of the UFC heavyweights. You know, Josh Barnett was the past coming back into the present. You know, if he's supposed to stick around, he's going to beat Travis Browne. Travis Browne's been on a tear, though. Man, this one's hard because it's like this grizzled Josh Barnett who's just a maniac that we've seen, the most well-spoken maniac we've seen. And then Travis Browne, who's just
up and coming.
I am going to give this one to Browne for me. I think he's more technical. I think his kicks are more swift. He's more agile and bouncy on his feet. Footwork's a little better. But man, this one's like a coin toss. But I'm gonna go with Browne on this one.
I'm being slightly sentimental when I go with Barnett in this one, because I really like him. Like, he impressed me just being at the post-fight press conference, and he's real witty, like, you know, and he drops jokes, and his name is the War Master. And I mean, it's just like I think that he's one of those fighters that's savvy enough to have a plan to be able to take down his opponent.
Right.
And from what I've been reading, he's been doing some new stuff with his cardio, so he's supposed to be coming in like in crazy good shape. So, because I wouldn't really say he was a little soft last time, but he was a little bit.
He's always a little soft,
and
like looking.
Right.
Looking.
But
I'm scared that he's gonna be like, "What'd you say?"
Don't mess with us next month.
Soft looking.
If you're there next month, don't mess with us. But yeah, I think that he's going to be able to put together a strategy to be able to take him down and, you know, sort of grind out a victory. I don't think it's going to be a spectacular finish either way.
I like that. We're going to coin spectacular fashion for 2014.
Hashtag.
Spectacular fashion is ours.
Yes. Everything we do.
Yes.
Good and bad. And spectacular fashion.
I want to give out a shout out to MidAmerican MMA. This morning I saw that when I was scrolling through, I saw them post that the winner of this fight is going to get to fight Fabricio Verdum instead of Cain Velasquez, because Cain Velasquez is injured right now. And so I don't know if that means for an interim heavyweight. I hope not, but I don't know if that's just for first contention. I feel like it's probably is interim, because it's not going to be first contender because they gave that to Verdum already. So it's not been confirmed for me other than MidAmerican MMA. So, but I feel like they're up on their stuff too. So we'll be looking into that. But that's just more motivation again for the winner of this gets, potentially to fight for the interim belt. That's what's going on. So yeah, this one's. Yeah, when you think about it, it's just that grizzled vet versus the new guy, and then sometimes the guys that have been around longer, they're tougher.
Yeah, and they're more savvy. They know the ins and outs, and it's not going to be something new. You always have to wonder about the new guys that they're going to sort of fold to the pressure of something like this, especially with that much riding on the line.
Yeah,
you're on this show for obvious reasons, and you would hope that you'd be able to step up to the challenge. But either way, I think it'll be a good fight. I don't think that it'll end quickly. I think that it'll be more of a grind out fight. Right, but I'd have to give my edge to Barnett.
All right, Finally.
Disagreement. Good.
Disagreement.
Feel
good.
normal.
Yeah.
Feel back to normal.
I don't know who you're picking for this one either. I do actually. Bantamweight title fight, women's UFC title on the line. Ronda Rousey versus Miesha Tate, co-main event. I feel like this one's just been talked about for the whole year that they last fought, and I didn't realize it was April when they last fought. But
April of last year?
Of this year.
This year?
Yeah. So that was a long time ago. Yeah, so Tate, no, excuse me, not when they fought, when Tate fought in April versus Cat Zingano.
Okay, yes.
I didn't know that was that long ago either.
Right.
But yeah, in April, Tate is coming off her loss versus Cat Zingano. Was supposed to be Zingano for this show against Rousey. Yeah. So then as we know, Zingano was injured, and then Tate took that spot. Rousey last fought in February, also versus Liz Carmouche. Carmouche was very close to finishing the rear naked, had it on her mouth, and did nut her neck, so wasn't able to get that.
And what happened? Controversially, some people say.
Controversially for that fight? I don't know. She got the armbar win. No. Rousey got the armbar win. I can't remember.
When the rear naked choke was on her, and she had her covered up. A lot of people said that Ronda bit her.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, she maybe had. Did she have bite marks?
Yep. Carmouche posted pictures on Twitter of the bite mark on her arm. So yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, that does.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Ugh, that makes me not want to take Rousey.
Yep.
But I still am.
Me too.
I'm gonna take Rousey, and this one hurts my feelings because. Let me get real. Can you bring down the lights, please? Can you start the fireplace? This one hurts my feelings because I'm a huge Miesha Tate fan, as everybody wants her to win this fight. I believe, if you took a poll, I feel like 90% of the people want Miesha Tate to win this fight, but no, Ronda Rousey is. Ronda Rousey has won all of her fights in first round armbar. You cannot, it's coming, and I just don't know. Miesha Tate looked awesome versus Cat Zingano in the first 2 rounds. Third round, she got brutalized with knees, and I didn't think that it was an unfair stoppage.
No,
it was. I didn't want it to be stopped, but I just don't see. And then so the season tough 18, Miesha Tate's team won. Great coach. It has nothing to do with the fight. It was a great season. There's nothing to do with the fight for Miesha Tate. Yeah, she got some more fans that want her to win. I just don't see. And I saw a picture of Miesha Tate too, shredded the other day.
Crazy.
It looked like an action figure.
I saw that too.
And I was just like, damn, she's obviously done what she needs to do to get in shape for this. I just don't see what formula is gonna be this new formula that nobody else had. She pushes the pace. I mean, she can push the pace all day long on Rousey, but one margin of an error and Rousey gets your arm, and then it's over. And that's why I don't see Tate. I don't know. I want Tate to win just because I want a new belt holder. I love seeing new belt holders, but I don't know how it's gonna happen. So if it does, it's gonna be something nobody saw. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Her submission game too is fair. You know, what do you think, man? I got Rousey, but
yeah, I'd have to go with Rousey too. I mean, it's just you can't really go against Ronda at this point until somebody comes out and does something to her that we haven't really seen before. Because besides Carmouche, we haven't really seen Ronda in too much danger in a fight either. Like, and you know that, like, she's such a beast too. Like, and I really feel that watching this past season of Tough has really like marred my vision of her, because like I liked her a lot before, and like just watching some of the behind the scenes stuff with her, and you know, seeing her family life and stuff, and she seemed so you know, she was a little rough around the edges but still genuine. But I've gotten so jaded from watching her performance on that show, and it's just like, she makes me not want to root for her at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody needs a bad guy. Everybody needs someone to be that person, and I guess Ronda doesn't mind being a bad guy. She probably relishes being the bad guy.
Oh, she loves it. Plays into it.
Yep.
She loves her role as the bad guy.
Yep. And
I don't usually.
Let's talk about something. Let's discuss what Miesha has to do to win this fight. We're gonna go like football analysis. What does Miesha need to do? What are Miesha's keys to success in this fight?
Just kidding. No, dirty. Like, not cheating, obviously. I'm so against that. But as close to that as possible.
Yeah.
Dirty,
mix it up.
Grindy, get into your head type of. I mean, all the stuff that we talk about, that little stuff. Foot stomps, cover her mouth, drag her knuckles over her eyes on the ground, like as close to illegal as possible, and just to piss off Rousey, because that was the only thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, that I was gonna say may get Miesha the win. She's going into this focus, and me and you talked about it before. She said, as long as I can stay emotionally detached during the fight, and I fight just to win, I'll be fine. As soon as it hits emotional for Miesha, it's over. I feel like that can be the same for Ronda. If she goes in there pissed at Miesha and just fights off emotion, that may be what gets Miesha the win.
And then too, like, and everybody is, I feel like I'm quick to say, okay, like, Miesha's going to be emotional. But you sort of discredit that Ronda is going to be that way too. Yeah. Because this is, but I mean, regardless of what's going on, this is the biggest fight in women's MMA history.
Yep.
This is, you know, arguably the biggest fight of the year in MMA, period. Just because of the profile of the fighters and the incredible build up to this. You know, this has been months in the making. And I don't know how you fight with the emotions off. Like, I get, like you said, you get kind of emotional talking about it. Like, shit, I really want to see this fight. I really want to see Miesha win. And I don't know. It's just so hard. Like, if I had to get a key to doing this, I would say that Miesha needs to embrace the emotion and go full berserker mode initially, just to put some fear, right? Just to get some fear into Ronda that, okay, I can't, you know, maybe I'm not gonna be able to deal with this. So you need to do that. She's gonna have to come out really strong, really aggressive to start things off. I would avoid the ground if at all possible, of course. Yeah. And like you said, don't be afraid to mix it up, get dirty. And, you know, Miesha's kind of susceptible to knees, as we saw. So I would honestly try to use that strategy against Ronda. You know, keep it up, push the pace. I don't know. There's just so many. Ronda's a great champion, and I feel like there's so many question marks about it because we haven't seen tons.
She's her lead the first round.
She's dominated so much that you don't know what to expect. So yeah, if we get to the second round, it's a win for MMA, period. if we get to that point, because it's uncharted territory with Ronda, and just to see what happens from that point on, I mean, I'll stand up and be like, okay, I got my wish. So my one wish in this fight is to get to the second round. If we get there, I will be happy with whatever happens, but I would like to get to the second round.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So we've got Rousey, but we're pulling for Tate.
Yes.
Like the rest of the world. All right, so welterweight title. Awesome. First of all, awesome job again with matchmaking and the order of these fights. God, after watching that fight, you know, hurry up and get another beer, drink, or some food, and sit back down, because the other rematch of the year, Main event, welterweight title, Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman 2. They last fought in July. Jesus Christ, if you don't know what happened, then just stop watching us right now.
Yeah, don't watch MMA.
Yeah, Weidman got the KO win, knockout win in round 2. Anderson Silva was doing the worst Anderson Silva shit he ever did in his life. You know, it took a
Anderson Silva was being extra Anderson Silva.
You're being real Anderson Silva today. So I felt my face getting dirty there. So I mean, he took a left from Weidman in the round, and then faked going down, only to really take that real shot. Like 5 seconds later, get knocked out. Eyes in the back of your head, like you gotta feel stupid after that. And then you lost your belt, and then, but he back. I back. So. Yeah, I don't know. This fight too, off the top of the thing, I'm just gonna give it to Silva. I don't see miracles happening twice in MMA. I want Weidman to keep the belt, but that was a really it wasn't a lucky shot because it was thrown. I want to say that there's no lucky shots at MMA because everything you throw is thrown to land and finish. But it was such a 5-hit combo flurry or 4-hit combo that last one he threw it out, and I don't see that. Like I just don't see that happening again. I think Anderson Silva is gonna not play around as much, or just I don't know. I don't see Weidman winning.
Well, first off, I want to say that like you almost forget about this fight because of the Tate Rousey fight.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to have that happen when you have all the drama behind this fight too. Like, and this is where you start realizing like, oh my God, this card is incredible. Like, just those 2 fights should be by themselves, but to have them on the same card is incredible. Yep. So,
they're your end card, man.
Man, we got to go to one of these.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, just to sort of give my prediction on this, I have to go with Silva. I really feel like he's gonna, like you said, not play. I think he's gonna come out really strong and really show people like, oh man, this is he's not playing, and then he's gonna play a little bit, because that's what he does.
Yes,
and
he will definitely play.
Yeah, he's gonna play a little bit. If he plays again, it's sad to say, but that's Weidman's chance. Like, I don't know exactly what he can do. Weidman is a great fighter, but he always strikes me as being kind of vanilla. But he's still a great fighter though, and it's like you want to doubt him. You want to say that he's not that good, but he's a great fighter, and he's going to take advantage of those mistakes. And I have to go with Silva though. I really think that he's gonna. He feels like his legacy is sort of at stake. Yeah. And I could see him, really trying to turn it on and win in spectacular fashion. Yes. Or losing again in spectacular fashion.
Right.
But 90-10 has to be Silva getting a win in this one.
The one thing that threw me off was seeing that, I think, and I'm not sure if this is confirmed either, but there was talks that he would retire if he lost. And whenever you see that, for me, that there's already talks of going on that if I lose this fight, I'm going to retire, that's already embedded in your head, and you don't want that as a fighter in your head at all, fight week. That would be a little bit of a thing for me, that he's got that in the back of his head, and that's Weidman's chance to kind of capitalize on that thought process.
Right.
Remind you, I'm going to put you in retirement. If I were Weidman, I'd be playing into that right now. Like, I'd be focused all on, I've heard he's going to retire, good, because I'm going to put him out. I'd just be talking as much shit as possible to kind of put that in the back of your head even more, bring it to the forefront. So this one, again, though, like you said, I think I like your strategy of him coming out disgustingly swift with kicks and punch and overwhelming for like 2 minutes, and then messing around that last minute, or actually it's 5-minute rounds. So beat the piss out of him for 4 minutes, and then mess around the 5th round. He can drag it out a few rounds. He plays and wastes time. Like, this fight could legitimately go into the 4th round with Silva playing for 3 rounds. Enough, and then just getting a couple shots off, just enough to just drag it out. He can do that. And I think he's going to do that this time. I think he's going to make an example. I think he didn't show his anger But from losing that belt, he was like, oh well, you know, it happened, and you know, and he did his little thing a couple months later. But he had to have been pissed. He had to have been embarrassed. And
you just think that, you know, someone being a champion for as long as he's been champion, that you have to have that fire. And then that's another one of the things that scares me. Like you're saying, like if he's thinking about retirement and that fire was out at that point, unless he was able to somehow rekindle it and, you know, get it together again, maybe he does feel like he's out. So like it's you just don't know. You don't know. And everything in me just tells me that you can't. I'm not gonna go against Silva, especially if Silva is the Silva of old. Exactly. Like if he's gonna come out and he is, you know, feels embarrassed, you know, like if this was 5 years ago, I would know for sure that Silva would win this fight, like because he would be pissed. But where he's at with his head right now, you don't really know. And you know, he's always been kind of, you know, sort of passive, sort of, you know, easygoing outside of the octagon. But you know, once you see him in there, he's dominating. And I don't know. I think his speed is gonna be too much. He's just gonna be able to pick Weidman apart. I don't think it's gonna be too close.
Are we gonna start agreeing? Oh, we agreed on 4 out of 5 fights for this card. Is this what's gonna happen in 2014? We're just gonna agree on stuff? No. Good. I don't like it.
No. We'll
feel like it's too. It's weird.
Too nice.
Weird. Yeah. We need Great. Kick and make up. Yeah. Everything goes right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Kick and made up. Right. Hey, we're done. That's the show. No, so okay.
Maybe it's because of the holiday season.
Right. Okay. Good.
That's right. We don't want to argue on the show, so
it's like late January, early February. We're just gonna be going at it when everybody's angry and cold.
UFC on Fox 10. I already know that we're gonna disagree on the main event in that one. Because you know who I want to see.
Yeah, we know. We'll just save it. Just save it for later. All right. Let's get to the Fox Sports 1 prelims real quick. John Doomsday Howard versus CR Bahazurzada. It's awesome. Hey, you didn't know I spoke that language, whatever it is. Sorry. Yeah, it's a hard name. All right.
This is where I wait for Mr. Buffer to explain to us what the name is.
If it just would have been broken down phonetically, with the dashes like Wikipedia does.
All I know is that when we do our next show, we'll have it because he will have said it at that point in time.
That's exactly right. I like John Doomsday Howard. I've always been a Howard fan, so I'm going to take him. We don't need to do predictions on this one, actually. We'll just rattle off. The next one I am excited for, number 7 ranked featherweight Dennis Seaver versus Manny Gambiran. That's got to be a good fight. Seaver's one of those two that he's always been just on the outside of like top 5 in his division.
Yep, so. And this is one of those fights that, you know, is like a fringe main card fight. Like that could be on the main card.
Also, Manny Gambiran was on Team Rousey, and I don't want him to win because of that. I like Manny Gambiran a lot, but I didn't like him on the show really.
No.
The show did some damage for me too, like as far as some personalities that I liked.
Yeah, and it totally altered perception on a lot of
It did. Like, I'm a huge Manny Gambiran fan, but I didn't really like him on the show. So, and I like Dennis Seaver a lot. So, all right, Gleason Tebow versus Michael Johnson. This could be a really good fight or a super boring fight.
Yep.
Michael Johnson's been doing awesome lately. Stand-up's been looking a lot better. Gleason Tebow's always one of those explosive guys that'll pick you up and dump you through the mat. They're both very similar, so good job matchmaking again. I either way, I don't know. I think Johnson maybe gets it, you know, but very similar fighters, similar stuff like that. So
I like Tebow.
I like Tebow on that. All right, good. There we go. Chris Lieben versus Uriah Hall to kick off the main event, or to finish the main event on the Fox Sports 1. Uriah Hall, obviously, like UFC's money boy, prize fighter, should have been prize fighter of how much they built him up during the last tough. Chris Lieben, a grizzled vet, I'm going to give it to Lieben too. Uriah Hall just had all this steam and he didn't produce. He had one good spinning back kick or axe kick that, you know, was shocked the world, and then he didn't do anything after that. Did absolutely nothing after that.
Yeah. If there was somebody in 2013 that I was disappointed in, it was him.
Yeah.
And to have that much momentum, and I don't know. And then in the last fight he was in, he kept
they kept high-fiving.
Yeah, like in the middle of the fight and all that shit. Like that made me mad. Like, come on,
That's
man.
Right. They did.
And it was like 3 or 4 times, and like there's
joking around
and smiling and shit. Like, come on.
Even Joe Rogan and them were saying like, dude, stop. Like, nobody wants to see that.
Fight. Yeah, nobody wants to see that, and it just, I don't know. And this is probably why Uriah Hall hasn't been, or was in tough to begin with, and hadn't gotten to, the UFC before that, because obviously he has talent.
Yeah,
he has a physique. He looks like he should be an incredible fighter, but there's something isn't there at certain points in times, and I don't know what it is, and I couldn't pick him for a win at this point.
And they're putting him versus Chris Lieben. Yeah. That dude is like a robot zombie fighter. He just keeps going and going, and you can't get him down. I mean, he's just, I don't know. He's just, it's a lot on his plate for Uriah Hall this fight.
Yeah, I kind of think he's on a cusp of being out.
He is. He is really. So yeah,
another
we'll see.
L. I couldn't see you trying to build him back up.
No, great way to lead into the main card, to the pay-per-view portion too. And so then the online prelims, we've got Robbie Peralta versus Estefan Payan. I don't know them very much, so we'll be learning more about them this fight. Peralta I have seen once or twice, I think. But then to kick off the online prelims, Bobby Volker versus William Masario. We've seen Bobby Volker fight a couple of times. Big Strikeforce guy. Surprised he's so low on the online prelims, because it wasn't too long ago that it was Volker versus Lawler, I believe. A couple earlier in the year. So that just shows in MMA how fast you can rise, how fast you can fall. So man, top to bottom though, man. Awesome. Nice card. Great nice year-end card. If you can't watch the pay-per-view portion, definitely get in on the Fox Sport 1 prelims. It's great fights on that. We're going to be posting during the show, during the event. I'll have the polls up later today or tomorrow morning.
Today. I feel like we should do another giveaway. I kind of feel like it. I mean, but we need to give out our first.
We need to do, the winners of the last giveaway. We got you. Don't worry. We're gonna all come. We're gonna all even keel things out at the end of 2013. 2222. I just stuttered like a mother. Right there,
2013.
But yeah. So make sure to get on Facebook group page. Type in Kick and Makeup. Allow yourself in. Invite yourself in. We got you. Get in on the polls. Let's vote and make it official who you've got for your picks. I'll be putting up some weigh-in pictures tonight. Got a few up today already of some of the presser. Just trying to keep you guys up to date. This is, like I said, this is an awesome card. You want to get in on the conversation during the fights tomorrow. We're gonna try to get the dialogue going again.
Oh yeah. So, it was really fun last time we did the giveaway too. So let's try to do that again.
Yep.
And it'll be fun. Don't be afraid to talk.
We will definitely be back next week after, I feel like once again, maybe next Friday after the New Year's festivities on Tuesday and Wednesday with the wrap up of this show. And I want to do our high kick, low kick, and that's some bull kick of the year.
I guarantee you we're going to have some, something's going to come out of this card that'll probably be on one of those.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So maybe we'll just do high kick, low kick. I don't know. We don't know yet what we're gonna do. Just tune in next week. And we'll be here as always.
Yeah, we do have to do a year.
That's what I'm saying.
Review
it might be too. So tune in next week for our 3-hour-long Kick and Makeup show.
Spectacular.
Where we end the year in spectacular fashion.
Yes.
That's about it, man.
Yes.
I'm your host, the American Hybrid, Nick Cunningham. With me as always, Jeremy J.D. Dorsey. Remember, don't solve it in the streets, take it to the cage, kick and make up.